Good morning, good afternoon, whatever it is, wherever you are. It's me again, Jen. Hello! And I hope you are all doing well on Monday. It is August 17th. It is the start of the week. It is hot outside, but we are still reading with the Journey into the Hidden Realms Tarot, which is a deck by Barbara Moore with the art done by Julia Jeffrey. Give me a weekend, I forget everything. And this deck was graciously lent to me for the month by my friend Topaz. And I'm super excited to be reading with this deck for the entire month. And I've enjoyed every one of these absolutely gorgeous cards, and they're starting to jump all over the place. So that means I'm taking too long to talk about this. So without further ado, let's see what card we have for today, for Monday. Oh, okay. So we have a card with a name that is different than the traditional deck. And I'm going to see if it's obvious or not, but we have a horned god and we have a couple right here. And even though there's no fire, I think it's pretty obvious that this card typically would be the devil card, but we are calling him the Shadowdance. And it is one of the cards of the major arcana, which that's typically the devil card. But in this case, I really like this because as we've seen, there's a bit more of a kind of a pagan leaning to this, a more ancient leaning to this deck. So why would it have more Christian and Catholic ideals to it? That wouldn't make any sense. So there is no devil in this deck. And I actually really enjoy decks that don't have a devil because I really think that it shows a little bit more of how this card can be read in two different ways. Whereas the devil card, as soon as it comes up, we read it as that card of addiction, we read it as that card of indulgence, of all those kind of the seven deadly sins sort of thing. It's a card of destruction. It's not a healthy card. But when it shows up and it's a card that is a character, shall we say, who is a bit more ancient, pre-devil, we can look at both sides of this indulgence. So I want to look at the usual side first, and then we'll lean into kind of, in a way, the more positive side of this card. So the Shadowdance in this deck, card number 15, which normally would be the devil, and the devil typically is a card of addiction, indulgence, letting your passions and your feelings and kind of your darker self run wild. So just kind of not holding back on all of those things. So you drink to excess, you use drugs, you are lustful rather than loving, and it's more of more prone to violence and outbursts and things of that nature, and just kind of like living in that more wild, untamed sort of reality. Wherein the devil shows that obviously that's not a good place to stay. But we all have those things in us. We all have things that we've all kind of fought with addiction in big and small ways. I mean, it could be as little as you're addicted to checking your Facebook to, it could be a drug issue or an alcohol issue or something like that. We've all made bad choices in life. Bad choices are what teach us how to make the good ones. So we kind of have to learn from the devil a little bit. So making the devil this always really bad card, negative card, eliminates that lesson, eliminates that process that we all have to go through. We have to live with our very human, very earthy desires and get through them. We have to get through that shadow side of ourselves. And sometimes we've got to call up that shadow side to have the passion and the power to fight against something or to cope with things. Sometimes we need that. Sometimes we need to have a little let loose kind of day or let loose kind of month. It is what it is. So the nice thing is, I said I was going to kind of lean back into the more positive side of this card because when it has a more pagan nature, it is a god of the wood, the wild one, and sometimes it is about embracing those things. understand them, know what they are there for. I mean, let's be real, for a minute here, if we didn't indulge in sex and things like that, we wouldn't procreate as a species. If we didn't have a little fun every once in a while, we would be very dull as a species. Art comes from this wildness. These kinds of things, kind of touching on those wild natures, are important. What we don't want to do is let them run our lives and run amok. We want to be able to say, oh, well, I'm having a really good day and I'm having a good time and I want to, maybe have an extra drink or two. Or, maybe I will go out on that, wild party night kind of thing. Or maybe I'll stay up a little late. It's okay. It's a Saturday. That said, it's a Monday, so don't go stay out late. But it is a little bit of a weird card for a Monday. So as a Monday card, I'm going to kind of look at it and go, maybe what this is saying is use some of that to get you through the week. Have a little fun this week. Indulge in some, creativity and some fun and a little bit of action, even if it is at work. Kind of make it fun. Have donuts on a Monday. Have donuts on a Wednesday. Have donuts all week. It's okay. YOLO. Please don't ever let me do the YOLO thing again. Anyway, so I do like when the devil card is not the devil card, and it is something like Shadowdance or the Horned God. I think it's been in a couple other decks. I hope to look at some of the other decks that I have that have cards that are not devil cards and kind of indulge some of that a little bit. I do love that they still have the couple who are very entranced with one another in this. And I think that that's a little better than the usual card, which has the man and the woman on kind of either side of the card. And they're looking at each other either longingly or angrily, however you want to interpret the card. But in this, it's that being lost in each other kind of experience. And we've all had those relationships as well, where like you just get lost in the passion of it and you forget what time it is and you forget to go to work and you forget to, feed the cat until they're angry at you. And all of these happen. But you know what? That kind of fire is something we all need every now and again in our lives. We need that passion every now and again. And you need that passion in other things, not just a relationship. The relationship with yourself sometimes, the relationship with art or playing an instrument. Lose yourself in that a little bit in any way you can this week. And especially on a Monday. I think this is kind of a fun card for a Monday. Why not? So I really think that that's a good card. And I'm going to say that with all the cards that were jumping out earlier, I'm super glad this was the one that jumped out and really said, no, this is the one. This is the one you want to look at. And I mean, look at the face on that guy. He definitely is like, I've got something for you. You're going to enjoy it. It might be painful later, but you're going to enjoy it now. And I really like that facial expression. So once again, these cards do not disappoint as long as you are a more, I won't say more competent reader, but a more practiced reader. Because again, if this card came up and you only knew that it's got to be the devil card or nothing at all, it would be harder to read this card. But I do think that it's kind of clear that this is a card of indulgence and a little bit of fun. So I hope you have a little bit of fun and a little bit of indulgence today, but not too much. And until next time, please check out the links in the description below. Please like and subscribe, share with your friends, and let them know that we read cool cards every single day, except for on weekends when we do indulge in some laziness. And until then, have a wonderful week. Stay safe, stay healthy, and I will see you in Tarot Cafe, or I will see you tomorrow.